Off Topic podcast where we embrace the tangents and celebrate the unexpected. I'm your host, Komposki, and each week we dive into conversations with fascinating guests, explore their stories, insights, and of course, we're going to get a little off topic.
Today we have an amazing guest with us, Chase Ford. We're excited to see where this conversation takes us.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for inviting me.
We're glad to have you on the podcast today. So for our first question, this is one of my favorite questions to ask people who listen to music. Who or what is your favorite rock and or metal artist?
I'm gonna say it's definitely a three-way tie between Tool, Korn, and Red Hot Chili Peppers.
There's some very good bands.
I like innovative bass playing in all three of them.
I feel like bass is like an underrated instrument in like music, but I feel like bass kind of like brings it all together.
Yeah.
Like it's a supporting feature.
If you think of music like a train set or just like a train, the drums and the bass lay the track for the melody train kind of thing to run on. If you think about it like that, I've always thought of it like that. It lays groundwork for the overall sound, and a lot of people overlook that because, well, I don't really know why.
Yeah.
So, do you plan on making rock or metal music in the future?
I definitely don't really have a plan on making it my whole thing, but I would love to do something like that as like something on the side while I do college or whatever. I have a lot of ideas that I think I'd like to put to use at some point.
That's nice.
I feel like you could write some very good bass lines for like if you started a band or were in one.
Oh yeah.
I feel like you'd be a great addition. No bias or anything, totally.
Oh, really? No, I get it.
So, how do you feel about like how rock and metal artists have changed over time?
Well, I feel like music as a whole has changed over time just because of the introduction of this big thing. You might have heard of it, Spotify. Before Spotify got really, really big, there was pop culture, and there's a type of music that everybody was listening to. Like, it would be on radios and stuff like that. It'd be everywhere. And rock as a whole and metal as a whole kind of died down with artists coming to light, like Britney Spears, Gwen Stefani, Taylor Swift, just a couple big names in like the pop genre that really, I'm not saying they killed rock because no they didn't, but they really did. That type of music suppressed it, and that's not a bad thing either. Music comes in, music goes out, it changes. But with the introduction of Spotify, I'm seeing a really big resurgence in things like rock and metal and all that other kind of stuff, and it's really nice to see people spreading that and building a community off of that.
It's a very nice thing to see, like when different genres are like coming together, and like it's nice to like stuff outside of that one genre you like.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. What is your favorite instrument, like, in general?
In general, I'm biased when I say bass. That's really one that I'm pretty sure if people know me, they'll know that's my answer. A little one, so I'm going to say something kind of off that is also my favorite. I really like trombone.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Trombone's nice.
Yeah.
This obviously isn't like a school-friendly band, but Sublime. Everybody knows Sublime. A lot of their songs mixed this genre called ska and kind of like grunge sort of in like together, and it brought a lot of brass instruments in, and I thought that's really nice.
I
Dude.
love Sublime so much.
Yeah.
Sublime's one of my main, like, I'll put it on in the car and just sit there for a while kind of songs.
Yeah.
So going off topic a little bit, well, I mean,
Nice
kind of off topic, but like, can you name like at least like three, or it could just be one, or just like a few of your favorite rock and metal songs.
Rock and metal songs. Well, one of them is. Oh, never mind. I can't say that one. Higher Ground by Red Hot Chili Peppers. This is a really basic answer, but what was that Korn song? It's probably their most popular song. It'll come to me.
Mhm.
And then I'm gonna say Toxicity from the Toxicity album.
That's a good album. I
Good
like
stuff. Good stuff.
Favorite song right there.
Oh yeah.
That's another thing about like rock and metal. I like when artists like use different instruments in their music. Like for example, I don't remember some of them, but I know like Slipknot uses like keyboards, and then they'll use like a whole metal barrel as like an instrument, and it's so cool. And like my favorite band, they have a trumpet in one of their songs, and then they have a whole piano song for one of their recent albums. And it's like a really cool thing to see like instruments outside of the main four of like these rock and metal bands. But this off topic to this question, but kind of in the same area. Have you ever attempted to write a rock or metal song?
I did, and it was for like a band that I wanted to put together, but I couldn't because I didn't have the time. Excuse me. It was called Arrow Avenue, I think, and there's some really complicated slap bass and bass drum combinations in there. And near the end, there was like light tapping on the snare to symbolize like a whole bunch of arrows being shot at the end. I was really proud of it. I lost it a long time ago, but it was probably what consumed a lot of my time. I'm gonna say eighth grade or freshman year. That was a lot of my time writing just that one song.
Oh wow. So if you were to meet any rock/metal artist, who would you meet and why?
I'm gonna say probably Flea, because just by not judging off of looks in a way, but he has a more approachable kind of atmosphere to him, but also completely on the opposite side, Corey Taylor.
I love Corey Taylor. He's one of my favorite.
I think that'd be really fun to meet him like outside of like just out in public, because I don't know, this just that so Slipknot's whole atmosphere is just such a interesting thing.
It's a crazy and fun one. I feel like it'd be fun to meet like any Slipknot member.
I really want to meet Chris Hay.
I really want to meet Sid Wilson. He seems like such a silly guy, and I love that.
Who's that one that has like the nails
The nails?
on his?
Like the crown of thorns
Oh,
around his
yeah.
head.
Joey Jordison
Maybe.
from
I would
the
love to meet that
from
guy.
All Hope Is from All Hope Is Gone. Joey Jordison had like thorns around his head.
Mm-hmm.
Their masks are like really, really cool, and
A lot of them were custom. Well, at first, a lot of them were just from Walmart. I remember seeing something on TikTok about that. And it was like, yeah, a lot of us got our costumes and masks from Walmart and Target. And I was like, sometimes I wish there was a Target around here, because
That'd
like,
be amazing.
I feel like, for me personally, grocery shopping at Target is a lot easier than grocery shopping at Walmart.
Yeah.
a little off topic. Well, actually, this might be on topic to what we're just talking about. I know we go off topic, but
Nice plug.
we're gonna switch it up a little bit.
Good plug.
What's your favorite like Slipknot mask, and what's your favorite Slipknot mask that has changed over time?
My favorite one is Chris. What's his last name?
Fiend.
Fane.
Fame. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I love his mask so much. It's such a. I don't know what it is about like long, almost like cylindrical noses.
The long nose.
Oh yeah.
Like it just makes me so like, oh my goodness.
I like. There's this one picture of Sean Crahan like going above Chris, and he's just like grabbing the nose like this with the mask on, and it's so funny.
Like intrusive, impulsive thoughts, just like.
Just like Chris. my favorite one. I like Mick Thompson's mask, but that's also because I like Jason Voorhees. He's like a. I also like how their masks kind of like mean something. But before we get on to that, do you have one you like?
The nail guy, the thorns guy,
Kind
yeah.
of Thorns guy.
We miss Joey Jordison,
Oh, real.
and
I forgot. Did he die or did he just leave?
I'm pretty sure he died.
Oh, that's.
And Paul, we miss Paul too.
Oh, speaking of dying, I found something horrible. Found out something horrible yesterday. Liam from One Direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's terribly sad. Like, barely in his 30s. Probably one of the most popular bands of like the late 2000s, early 2010s. That's crushing, dude.
Yeah.
I felt like
terrible.
a piece of my soul just like disintegrate.
I actually saw your sister was the one that told me. She came into the band room and was like, Liam from One Direction just died. And I'm like, what?
And everybody's jaws dropped. Like,
The way I found out was that my sister, Sammy, she
Yeah.
told my older sister Chelsea. Then
Mhm.
Chelsea told me, and I was like, "What?"
Oh my god. Oh, but it's so sad when artists that were like not just starting out in Liam's case, but like artists that were like so young and had such long lives left to live just died just cuz. That's terrible when something like that happens. It's
Yeah.
terrible when anybody dies, honestly, but like it's just so crushing when a young artist just goes away.
Yeah.
It's such a promising career and he's just gone. But back on to the off topic question we were on. The mask we were talking about, what was it? The Crown of Thorns one? Who was
yeah,
that?
Joey Jordison.
I like that mask a lot.
So we are getting ready to take a break. We will be back with you guys.
Oh, good stuff. Good stuff.
All right. So we're back for a little short segment.
Good stuff, brother. Good stuff.
Yeah. So we last left off where we were talking about like the Slipknot mask, and I like the concept of the Slipknot mask because
It's a very interesting concept.
yeah, and like I heard someone once mention that like their mask kind of like mean change. Like for an example, for Mick Thompson's, like his mask is kind of the same as it was in 99, 98, and it's like he's fine with it. The mask, it's like the mask is saying he's fine with who he is, but like there's just subtle little changes. And then there's stuff like Corey's mask saying like he used to be, he's like re-evolving kind of.
He's evolving because I know. This is actually during the. I'm pretty sure you've seen it by now. You might have seen it. The Hot Ones
Oh yeah, the new
the
Hot Ones episode.
That was who was it? It was Chris Fane and who?
No, it was Corey Taylor and Sean Crahan for the most recent Hot Ones episode.
The most recent. I'm talking about the one that was before that. It had Chris Fane in it.
I have not seen that one. No.
It had I think it was Corey Taylor.
It most likely was, cause wasn't Sean and Corey like the founders of Slipknot? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Maybe. I'm not real big on Slipknot lore, so I'm not.
I love their music though.
Oh, yeah. What was the song where they got like 27,000 hits in a minute for the bass drum? Wasn't he hanging upside down when he did that?
I think he was. Yeah, their live performances are really crazy. Like,
I would love to see sorry about that.
You're good.
I'd love to see a live performance of Slipknot. That sounds just like the funnest time ever.
it does. Like, I've watched videos of live performances, and it's so funny when like they do like the most random crazy
Yeah.
stuff. And poor Sid Wilson, he broke his like leg one time jumping off the stage.
That reminds me of when and this is kind of a Hot Topic person, not Hot Topic the store obviously, but like a person of Hot Topic, I guess. Dave Grohl.
Oh,
I'm not gonna say stuff about Dave Grohl, but I like the Foo Fighters. Don't get me wrong. But back to what I was saying about him. I think he broke his ankle or his leg during a performance,
oh,
and he still wanted to like sing and stuff before he went off. So while he had his leg held up to be propped up, he was singing. What was it? I think it was Monkey Wrench.
oh.
I was like, brother, what? Get this guy off the stage.
He's heard. Like,
Excuse me.
No, I like some of Foo Fighters' music. I don't listen to everything from them, but like I like their music.
Mhm.
It's a shame that Dave Grohl has like been in a recent light of controversy. But
You know what's even funnier about that?
what?
He and Taylor Swift kind of got in a little beef, and then he gets that leaked. I'm like, you're letting her win. I don't have anything against Taylor Swift, but if
No.
there's beef against Taylor Swift, I'm gonna kind of root for the other guy, because I don't know. I just have a natural like, she don't know what she's talking about, but apparently she did.
I don't mind Taylor Swift. I think she's influential. She's good, but
She's influenced a lot of media, like
Yeah.
good media.
yeah.
Like, I like her music. I'm not obviously like an avid listener of like, everything Taylor Swift, but I've heard a few of her more popular songs, and I'm not gonna sit and say that I don't like her music, because I do. It's good stuff. It sounds good. It holds melody really good. There's nothing to really hate on about it.
Yeah. See, here's another thing that I like to think. It's like, how every like band has like their most popular song, or they have like these really popular songs.
Yeah.
I feel like if your favorite song from one of your favorite bands is like a popular song, it shouldn't mean that you're not a big fan.
You know what? I struggle a lot with that. I'll intentionally put on. Sorry about that.
There you go.
I'll intentionally, like, while I'm on Spotify, I'll put on "Smells Like Teen Spirit" by Nirvana, because like everyone's like, oh, this is a basic Nirvana song. He didn't even like that song. Yes, he did. First of all, and well, he started to not like it because it was so overplayed. But like,
Right.
you know what?
It's like James Hetfield with Enter Sandman. He started disliking playing the song live because of how many times it
I'm
was
not a
played.
big. I'm honestly not a big fan of the Black Album from Metallica. I'm not a real big fan of it.
Ooh, yeah. Speaking
It's
of
very
which,
flashy metal.
Yeah.
It's not glam metal. I don't like glam metal or like hairspray metal. It's like when you listen to stuff from like the later 80s from metal, it's not metal. It's just the same repeated I'm not gonna say garbage because it's
Right,
not really
it's
garbage,
not.
but
Everyone has their opinions on the music. Did
And-
you know? Sorry about that. Did you know that Pantera like had a glam metal album before Cowboys?
I know.
Before the Cowboys album.
That's so crazy to me because Pantera is like, I always think of Pantera as the bow down, bow down, bow down band.
The Walk, yeah.
The Walk band, you know, like that's such a heavy flowing song. You wouldn't expect a glam metal album at all, and as you hear it, and you're like, "Am I listening to like, am I listening to Pantera, or am I listening to the Motley Crue?" Like, oh, I get a lot of hate for that. I'm not a fan of Motley Crue. I do not like Motley Crue.
I think their music's fine. I don't really have like any bands that I hate. Like I'm chill with a lot of them. So, also another thing I would like to mention is you know how every band has like their low point,
Yeah.
and you know,
Nirvana didn't have enough time to get a low point. I was so sad.
I know a few bands that I know that have had low points was Metallica.
Korn.
Actually, yeah, Metallica had a rough time throughout the
Early 2000s.
yeah,
it
from,
was
like-
it was bad.
from like Load to what album was it? Death Magnetic, or was it before Death
I think
Magnetic?
it was Death Magnetic.
Yeah, it was from like Load to Death Magnetic, and it was so bad. What? Not the music. The music. I love.
Music's okay.
I love the Load, Reload, and Death Magnetic albums.
I'll always be a thrash Metallica dude. Ride the Lightning, Kill 'Em All. You know, them albums.
They're good. I love them.
I feel like Metallica's like probably the best album. Well, Ride the Lightning, but also what's it called? Justice for All.
And Justice for All.
And Justice for All. Oh my, one will always be one of them songs where I'm like, oh my god, bro, play that again.
For real.
Loop it up.
Like,
Loop it up. You know what I'm
also,
saying?
another thing is, for One, have you seen the music video for One? The music video is so
It's
freaking good.
crazy good.
And it sucks that not Metallica, James Hetfield just came out and was like, oh yeah, I don't like acting. And I'm like, oh, that's cute.
That's cute.
You made a fire video for a fire song,
Hey, you know what?
but everyone has
I
their-
dabbled in acting one time. Listen, I only had 3 lines. I was a dude in this like murder mystery dinner thing. Good concept, but it put these kids that don't know how to act in a room together to try and act. You know, you're not gonna get something very good. I was the dude that died. I was the murder. I was the murder that got killed. I had 3 lines and all I had to do was fall. And I messed it up by falling forward instead of doing a stage fall. I didn't even know theater had a specific way to fall until like I fell flat on my face and I hear Colton go, no. I'm like, what? He's like, don't fall like that. You'll hurt yourself. I was like, I'm falling. It's
That-
supposed to hurt. He's
that
like,
fateful fall.
fateful fall. He's like, no, you have to stage fall. I'm like, what is that? And he's like, kind of lay down fast. And I'm like, that's what falling is. That is what falling is. It's laying down super fast. And he was like, no, you have to do it to the side. I'm like, I'm gonna look like this falling over.
We love Colton though. He's a great guy.
He's Pookie. He's my Pookie.
Oh yeah, so like a little off topic here. So
Nice
like
plug.
speaking of like acting, which the idea of like kids who don't know how to act sounds like a great movie plot. Like,
That's a great plot.
but I also love like movies or like live albums where they have like a video or like documentaries of
Love documentaries.
like musical bands. Like what are some like documentaries that you know about?
Well, this is a very not so known one, but Red Hot Chili Peppers actually has a documentary.
Ooh.
It's called Funky Monks. It's named after the song on the album that I'm not allowed to say because it's not school friendly.
Oh yeah.
But
I know which one you're talking about.
you know which one I'm talking about. If you listen to Red Hot Chili Peppers, you know exactly which one I'm talking about.
We'll just say BSSM.
BSSM. But it's the documentary is about their tour to Japan, which coincidentally is the tour that John Frusciante left for the first time.
Oh.
He leaves because little context, John Frusciante is a musical prodigy genius. Perfect pitch, knows where every note on any instrument is. He's a genius.
Yeah. Deity, a musical deity.
Musical deity, if you will.
One thing that I find interesting is like when other like, you know how there's like this band and then you hear like there's other like they were in other bands before this or they have their own side bands.
Yep.
But before we talk more about that, we will go on break again, and when we come back, we will discuss that. So
Good stuff.
go grab some popcorn or something.
Oh yeah, I'm thirsty.
All right, welcome back. So before the break, we were talking about like artists who had like were in a band before they're in the one that they're in, or they have their own side band. Like for example, did you know Kirk Hammett from Metallica? Yes, we're still talking about Metallica. Kirk Hammett from Metallica was in the band Exodus before he was in Metallica.
I did not know that. You're gonna have to tell me the albums he was in, cause I need to hear that.
I think I don't remember. I think he left in like '83. But I'm pretty sure he's on one of the album covers. I'm not sure which one, so you'll have to do some research on your own time.
I'm not a big fan of album covers that have the band on them. I do not like it. That just have like the people of the band on the album cover. Like, I understand if it's like an older band. I'm not.
Yeah.
I still don't like it, but like it's like okay, you didn't really have art like that to put on an album cover. That's fair, but you know, for recent, like, newer bands, well, not newer, I guess, at most, like, 40 years back, just doing a picture with them in gray, I'm like, come on now. Shell out a little bit of money to get some album art done. Come on now. You can afford it, Metallica. You can afford it, Metallica. I love when, I feel like much like a book, an album art cover has the effect of a book cover. Like, never judge a book by its cover. Well,
Right.
you can. I'd say that for people, but like an actual book, I'm not gonna read something that has like cursive and is like hardback in a color that I don't like.
Right.
Or same with an album. If it's like an album with just a bunch of dudes standing around, I'm not gonna listen to it. Like, oh, this album's just a bunch of dudes. That's just it? Nothing else?
And then
Just
wait-
dudes standing around?
Wait until you find out like the song, like there's a bunch of dudes playing the music for you. Like,
What the fwick? It's. Excuse me.
it's all good.
Album covers sell what you're trying to portray in the album, and you just putting a picture of your band in gray, just standing around with your hands in your pockets like this. That's not an album cover. That's not promoting your music like you want it to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not putting out what people want to pick up.
Also, speaking of like side projects, there was one of the members of System of a Down. I can't remember if it's Darren or Shavo.
I'm pretty sure it's Shavo.
They're on Scars on Broadway.
Yep, Shavo.
Yeah, Shavo has another band called Scars on Broadway. Really good. Check them out.
I'm gonna do it.
As a, I also like albums, like album covers that are like, sometimes I like when there's people on them, like example being like, we'll just say like a Megadeth album, like Vic Rattlehead. I love that dude so much. He's so cool.
Good stuff, dude. Good stuff.
And like also, this is kind of like, speaking of Megadeth and like just metal as a whole, did you know,
Megadeth.
you probably did know this, but Dave Mustaine from Megadeth, Dave Mustaine from Megadeth was originally in Metallica.
Yep.
And then I don't remember if he left or
He got
kicked.
fired.
He got fired, and then he started Megadeth, and thus came born the mascot Vic Rattlehead.
Love Vic Rattlehead.
Me too.
You know what I don't like though? Any interview ever, he loops back to being fired from Metallica. Like, brother, you have a successful thrash metal band. It's not Metallica, and that's okay. That's okay. You know what? Like, at least all your songs hit.
Real, like,
Metallica was so publicized and like watered down during like the late 90s. Well, it started in the late 80s kind of when, rest in peace, Cliff Burton died.
yeah.
I'm not blaming his death on that, obviously, but
No,
there's
we-
obviously a big difference between Master of Puppets and Ride the Lightning and the Black Album.
Yeah.
It's like watered down, and I don't know. It's just there's a difference.
Yeah.
Megadeth, there isn't. It's all pretty much just hard, concrete, just straightforward not death metal. Thrash.
Thrash metal.
Thrash.
Yeah, do you know, like, I love thrash metal. There's a big four. Do you know the big four of thrash metal?
Anthrax, Metallica, Megadeth, and
Slayer.
Slayer.
Those are the big four. Those were the big four of thrash metal. And conveniently enough, I like 3 of those bands. So,
Not a real big Slayer guy, are you?
not really. I don't hate their music. Like
It's Slayer.
like I said earlier, I don't really hate any bands. I just
You know what?
have preference for
You know
what I
what? Band I found out wasn't thrash metal. I was like, "What? Are you serious?"
what band was it?
Iron Maiden.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I was the same way too. It's like
It's heavy metal.
yeah,
It's
new wave British heavy metal.
it's the same as Black Sabbath and Motorhead.
Very good bands too.
Very good bands. Black Sabbath, their bassist Geezer Butler was my first ever inspiration for playing bass. I heard the solo at the beginning for NIB. Go listen to it. Good, great song. But that beginning solo, it has a clickiness like you would for the way he plays. So, I'm gonna set this filler right here for a minute. Little context on how you normally play bass. Typically, how you play bass is you drag your fingers across the string like this. Show it to the camera. You like pluck the string like that. But the way he did it was he moved his fingers up more towards the fretboard and he slammed his fingertips on the string like this. And it made a click almost as clicky as like a pick. He did it to the point where he got blisters on his fingers. I did the same thing. But it's just, you get such a good sound out of that, and he combines that sound with something called a wah pedal, and it's exactly how it sounds. It's just the more you press in, the more of a wah sound it makes. Kirk Hammett uses one.
He's big on.
He's
walls.
big on the walls. That fella is. He's big on the wall.
It's like my favorite video of Kirk Hammett where it's the band in the background. In the background, he's like, "This is Kirk Hammett," and he's sitting there like this. And then someone, I don't remember if it was James, but he said he plays amp.
He plays amp. Excuse me. Yeah. I'm not real big on when people do a whole bunch of pedals and distortion and whatnot, but wah pedals definitely welcome, in my opinion.
They go crazy.
They go crazy on wah. One of my favorite things, well, not one of my favorite things, it's more like a fun fact. A lot of guitar players that want to use a wah, they'll get a bass wah.
Oh.
Because it has more range. It's meant to wah a deeper instrument. So they get more wah for like their buck.
Right.
Like a bigger step, it'll be like a wah.
The one question that I wanted to ask you in this one is, what's your favorite subgenre of metal?
Subgenre of metal? Excuse me. Probably new metal. It has such a good, I'm not going to say good, but I feel like the atmosphere and the style around it just matches me so perfectly. Like, I'm not a big fan of this band, but Limp Bizkit.
Oh yeah.
How they dress. I feel like dressing the way they do. Oh my God, excuse me. Dressing that way and like that particular style, I feel like that's such a goated style.
Yeah.
Like big shorts, big shirts, like nice shoes. Obviously, I don't have nice shoes, but I tried. I have. Well, a couple months ago, when I got to do my very own clothes shopping, and I'm not saying this to sound weird, not weird, but I don't like to go clothes shopping, so I usually tell my mom what I want, and she goes and gets it. But this time, I sucked it up, and I was like, you know what? I'll go. So I go in, and I just essentially picked out outfits that looked like Fred Durst.
Did you get the red hat backwards too?
I did not. I'm not a backwards hat kind of fella. Like the backwards baseball hat. I'm not a big hat fella. I'm not real big on hats. But
I think for me, it's definitely a battle between like new metal and thrash metal. But I think I'm more like leaning more towards new metal because new metal sounds good. Like I like Korn, System of a Down, Slipknot. I like how they like experiment. Like Slipknot has they have masks and suits.
Mm-hmm.
System of a Down's
there's
about
a lot
like
of experimenting in that genre.
yeah, System of a Down's like anti-war and all that, and then Korn, yeah, it's silly and it's serious at the same time, just like System of a Down. See, that's something that those two bands have in common. They're serious at some times, and then they're silly.
You'll have something like Terracotta Pie, Terracotta Pie, Terracotta Pie, and then you'll have something like, what was it? Toxicity.
Boom boom.
Or Chop Suey. You'll have something
Yeah.
like Chop Suey or Toxicity, then you'll have Vicinity of Obscenity
which is not a school appropriate song.
Not a school
No.
appropriate song. I can't recommend you go listen to it. Go listen to it. But good stuff. You'll have something like Cigarro. Definitely not a school friendly song.
Definitely not.
Definitely not a school friendly song. But it's super funny. Like, it's probably one of the funniest songs I've ever listened to.
That's like also Korn did a song called "All in the Family" with Fred Durst. Not school appropriate.
Not school appropriate. New metal is not school appropriate, guys.
Well, it depends. It's like a 50-50.
No, it's more like a 90-10.
Yeah, but like
I'm gonna say 95-5.
Oh, real.
real.
That's probably a good one right there. 95-5. You have things.
Yeah, but Korn.
Freak on a Leash. That's what it was called.
Okay, that's the song from
I
like.
said that. I was thinking of a Korn song that was my favorite a while ago, and I just remembered it. It was Freak on a Leash.
Took bro 2 whole segments.
It took me 2 whole segments to figure it out, but
That's
you know what?
okay.
I got it.
That's okay. My favorite Korn song is "Divine" from the self-titled album.
Oh,
I love
yeah.
that song.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
speaking of like Korn, I love Jonathan Davis's like outfit, like the
Mhm.
purple. Is it a jumpsuit? Tracksuit?
I think it's a jumpsuit.
Also, speaking of which, do you like Adidas, like the shoes, like the shoes they make? Off topic, but like
I'm not super into like knowing the shoe brands and stuff. I like to wear shoes because I think they're kind of necessary.
yeah, I like.
If I had a choice of shoe though, it would be them like you see them shoes that are just like foot that are like foot cases or whatever. Like it's like
Yeah.
an imprint of your foot. It's like a foot shaped shoe. I want one of them.
Yeah,
That'd be super goofy to like be walking around and just like out of nowhere just wiggle your toes just cause.
See, I never really had like a preference on shoes. Like I love Crocs. I wear Crocs. You know, I wear Crocs.
I'm a big Crocs guy too. I don't own a pair, but when I can get my hands on a pair, I wear the. Hold on, let me think. I'll wear the heck out of them.
Yeah, I never had a shoe preference, but like ever since I started listening to Korn, I was like, I'd really love a pair of Adidas shoes because, you know, Jonathan Davis wears Adidas shoes and like that's cool.
And he has a really nice pair of Adidas.
Yeah.
Ah, their bassist. Oh, I can't remember his last name, but it's Arvisk.
I think it is.
Arvisk. If you can, look it up real quick.
Yeah.
But his style of playing is probably some of my favorite. He tunes down to drop A, which, if you don't know what that is, it's standard tuning is EADG. You're tuning
bass.
all the way from E to D to C to B to A. That's like what, 5 whole steps?
I think. Any music theory kids excluding me. Help with that, please.
Question mark.
Question mark.
That's like 5 whole steps on the other string, but then you have only 4 steps on the other ones. Drop tuning is where the first string, the lowest string, is a whole step lower than all the others.
The bassist name for Korn is Reginald Arvizu, also known as Fieldy.
Fieldy. I'll just call him Fieldy. His playing style is normally slap. It's your thumb and your middle finger or index finger, whichever one. And you do this. His... Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. His is open hand slap, and he grabs with all 4 of his fingers, so he's like this.
Oh yeah, that's really cool.
Every time he does that, I fear that his like bass strings are gonna snap. I'm like, oh my god, his strings are gonna snap.
Worried for bro.
I'm not worried for bro. I'm worried for the strings. Bass strings are more expensive than guitar strings. It's like almost $30 for a pack of strings.
I did not know that. I figured guitar strings were more expensive because there was like more.
Nope,
But-
it takes less metal to make 6 guitar strings than it does 4 bass strings.
Yeah.
That's not even mentioning. That's just round wound, like the standard
Yeah.
bass strings. There's these strings called flat wound, They're super good for like jazz and like regular, like good bass playing for like if you want a smooth tone. $50.
Oh, okay.
$50 for a nice packet round wound from Ernie Ball right there.
Ernie Ball's a great band, or not band,
Brand.
a great brand. Yes, forgot the R there.
Excuse me. I'm getting sick.
I know another question that I do have is actually there's.
I'm sorry, I've been
two.
going off topic on all your questions.
No, that's good. That's good actually.
It's next
Grant?
podcast.
Yeah.
Nice plug. Nice
Next
plug.
plug. If you could get, okay, so out of like every like favorite artist you like, if you could get a signature from one of them, which one would it be?
I've actually looked up all of their autograph signatures. And I'm going to say the fanciest and most impressive looking one is probably Flea.
love
He
Flea.
does this thing with the line on his F that goes into the rest of his name. It's not cursive. It's something like draws like a really big line on the F. He has a bass brand.
Oh.
Like he made basses. They're Stingray pickups, which think of like my guitar playing people. Think of like a humbucker pickup,
Oh.
but on a bass. That's what that is.
Oh, that's really nice. I do like
But
that.
they're like 8 giant dots. Like this big of dots on
Oh
the
my
pickup.
gosh.
They're like that on the pickups. It's so goofy looking, but I love it. But he made a line of those. Like it's a pretty looking bass. It's so neat looking.
Yeah.
But he has that signature on the body of the bass, I think, or the headstock. I wish I could have it.
Yeah. That's like I wish I could have a Les Paul Gibson. Like
Oh,
Kirk Hammett
dude.
had. Oh my.
Ooh, speaking
Yeah.
of Gibson, music store in Meadowbrook Mall,
Oh yeah.
they have a Epiphone, which is like the Squire of Gibson, an Epiphone Rex Brown Firebird bass.
That is so cool.
Guess how much it is?
It's probably above 800, I'd say.
I'm gonna say near 900.
Near 900.
How much is it?
$1,400.
I'm somehow still closer than Jason.
That's
But bro, you want to know why it's expensive? Well, it's a signature bass. First of all,
Hey.
signature basses go pretty high, but this signature bass, all the hardware, 24 karat gold. Or no, not 24. It's like 23. It's somewhere in the 20s. It's like super high end gold for all of the hardware. Crazy bass. Look it up. It's such a pretty bass though.
yeah.
So pretty.
As a guitar player, I really love bass players. Like y'all are some of my favorite people.
Thank you.
But I have. Oh my god, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oopsie poopsies. Oopsie poopsie. What was I gonna ask? Oh, you got any more questions on there?
We got about.
You want to do the next one?
Lay 'em on me, brother. Lay 'em on me. I can do a lightning round right
All right.
now. Lightning
or-
round.
If you had tickets to go to a certain rock or metal artist concert, who would it be and why?
Corn, because it gets goofy, silly, rowdy in that mosh pit, and I want to be all up in there. I'm ready for the next question. Lightning round.
All right.
All right, I'll ask this one. What are some old songs from the 1960s and 2000s that you've liked, and why do you like them?
1960s. Oh man, "Sunshine of Your Love" by Cream is a really good one. I like the bass on that. Mostly, I just like songs with good bass in it. Oh, My JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, people. You know this one, "Roundabout" by Yes.
Oh, yeah.
"Roundabout," great song, great bass, just all around perfect song. I guess "Come Together" is pretty good. I'm not real big on the Beatles. A lot of people will get mad at me when I say that, but I'm not real big on the Beatles. But that song specifically, bass is pretty good on that. Bass is pretty good. I can't deny that "Come Together" is a really nice song, really good. All right, next one. I'm ready.
Okay, going like off of this one and kind of taking like a roundabout back to like the side project. How do you feel about like when people from big bands like they don't go into another band but they release songs under just their name, like Corey Taylor,
Harry Styles,
and Serge Tankian from System of a Down.
I feel like with that, it becomes when they leave the safety of a band and go out on their own, defend kind of for themselves on a private music career. You have one of two ways that you go. You either go and this is probably the most notable part, the Harry Styles route, where you get super big, or you go and now keep in mind, I'm not real big on the Beatles, but I'm pretty sure George Harrison tried to do the same thing, or one of them, and kind of flopped a little bit. Kind of flopped.
Oh, that sucks.
You either flop or you get big again. So, either way, I feel like, going off topic, nice plug. I feel like a lot of people talk a lot about the business aspect of being an artist and the money part of being an artist and the fame of being an artist, but no one actually talks about the long-lasting effects that someone's art has, or
Right.
the long-lasting effects someone's just art like music can be on such a personal level that it connects to you.
Right.
Like, it connects to you on a level you didn't know it could connect to.
Also, something to note about like being in a band, especially like a metal and rock band, it's like at some point in time, like we've already mentioned low points, but there's going to be a time where the band members get into fights with each other. Not like sometimes physical, sometimes mental. And there's always going to be a point where they all fall apart for a little bit.
A pretty big example, Queen. If you've seen the movie Bohemian Rhapsody, I like Bohemian Rhapsody. I hear a lot of people say they don't like that movie, but
What?
I love that movie. They argue about credits and stuff. That's why I think going into making music like that in the mindset of being famous is not a good idea. If you're in it just to be famous,
It's
you're
not going to work.
you're not going to make it. You have to go in with the mindset that I'm not here to get famous, I'm not here to get money, I'm here to make long-lasting art and make long-lasting effects in people.
And to make sure you love what you're doing too.
Exactly.
Because happy working conditions is a happy like life, kind of. You get what I'm trying to say there.
If you love your job, you won't work a day in your life.
Right.
You won't. That's the truth.
Yeah. Anything you want to add before I move on?
So, not for this, but this goes a little off topic as well.
Nice plug.
But I'm a big country person. I listen
Yeah.
more country, so
Yeah.
that's why I haven't talked much about metal. But I've heard this person, Nate Smith. He's a country artist, Nate Smith. Have you heard of him?
He sounds familiar. I think I might have happened upon him at some point.
So, he's mainly country.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a couple of songs that sound like rock songs.
Mm-hmm.
So I looked up his genre. It took me by surprise when he's country rock.
Oh.
Well,
And I'm like, and when I remembered that we were doing a rock podcast, I'm like, that could be a good question of the
Yeah.
country artists who are also country rock.
Mhm.
Right.
Because there are also artists who are rock and country. Like Nate Smith.
Well, also about that, rock and country are not very different in the sense of what they're based on. They have very similar formulas of rhythms and very similar formulas of like just music writing in general. Like, their country and rock are kind of like branches of just a bigger whole of a music genre that I don't know the name of. But they're not so different. And when people say they don't, and I'm not saying like you can't not like a genre, but when people overgeneralize and be like, man, I hate country or country sucks, like you can't say that about all country music.
Right.
Like kind of like how you can't say you hate all pop music, because like there's stuff in there for everybody. Everybody
Right.
likes something.
And I feel like even if you say you dislike a genre, there's gonna be a song, because I've never really pictured myself as someone who would like regularly listen to country music or like stuff related to country. But like one of my favorite artists is Johnny Cash. I like Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash is really good. I love Johnny Cash. Another one, Chris Stapleton.
Oh yeah.
Chris Stapleton's pretty big on my list. Luke Holmes. Luke Holmes is pretty big.
Speaking of country, with Country Tuesday here at the Tech Center,
Oh yeah.
I caught someone mouthing the lyrics to Nate Smith's Bulletproof song.
Ooh.
Who was it?
You?
Was it me?
Yes, you were lip syncing.
Oh, I was? I didn't know that.
I guess
Unaware.
because Bulletproof it starts out country, and once you get like near the middle and then you'll like hear like this sounds
Rock
very
influence.
much like rock.
Rock influence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's so many that you can just compare country to rock and you'll see that those songs have the same thing. Just
Right.
different, a lot of times different tones, but still pretty much mean the same thing.
Exactly. They're getting the same point across musically.
Right. I do want to say like there are some like I don't want to say one hit wonders, but like usually only a few of their songs ever reach like the popular like the public.
Just
And-
one.
Yeah, like
one.
that's like Aerosmith. I'm pretty sure. I love their song "Dream On." I want to give them a listen though. I feel like they have some really good stuff. Also, Guns N' Roses. Like
Ooh,
they're
okay.
they're very
Okay.
notable for.
I'm
like, their
gonna
three songs.
I'm gonna throw my hat in the ring on the Guns N' Roses thing, and this is gonna heat some people on this. I cannot stand Guns N' Roses.
What?
I can't stand Guns N' Roses, dude. I just don't like them. People commend and love Axl Rose's vocals. I can't stand them.
I think they're good, but like,
Excuse me.
they're good.
Just the high pitched like it's like a 70s smoker sucked in helium. That's what like a 70-year-old smoker sucked in helium. That's what it sounds like to me. And you know what? I'm not saying that to make fun of him. I'm just saying that's what it sounds like to me, and I'm just not real big on Guns N' Roses like that.
Like I said, everybody has their opinions on things, so don't like try to.
I get clowned on a lot for that.
Yeah, everybody has their opinions. Let's not fight people over those, because it's not great to fight people over opinions. Everybody has their
You can't
music
fight
taste.
somebody over opinions, because opinions are so not concrete.
Right.
They change. They're not factual. They're biased, and they're based on beliefs, and that's fine.
Everybody has their own bias.
But but
I noticed one.
people that say they don't like Nirvana, I got a couple names in mind.
Hey,
You're lying. You're lying.
School, stay school appropriate there.
Yeah.
Wait, did I say a curse word?
No,
We're just saying.
we're just
Oh, dude, I'm sorry.
No, you're
freaked
good.
them
You're
out.
good.
A couple names of mine. You're lying to yourselves. You do like Nirvana. You just don't like them publicly, and that's okay. Come on out. We'll accept you. We'll accept you.
Oh, shoot. Okay. Well, I think that will do it for like our episode today.
Alrighty, good
We
stuff.
loved having you on. You are an amazing guest.
Thank you. I love being on here.
You're one of my best friends always.
Love you, Pooks.
And this is actually the first podcast we've had two co-hosts on for it.
2 co-hosts and one
guest for
guest,
the whole
yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
I
I'm
like
excited.
that. That's a
Yeah.
little switch up than our normal co-host, and then our guest.
It's like a little bonus episode.
The guest stays on, and we get a little co-host action
Yeah.
switch in
Oh,
there.
yeah, I like this. This is good.
All right. Well, we hope you enjoyed today's episode of Off Topic Podcast. We will see you all here at MCTC. We will see you all some other time. Bye bye.